Welcome to the Seating and Selection Show for the 2024 Rudys Real Texas Barbecue State Volleyball Championships. On this show, we will release the brackets. It is championship week. I wanted to say hello to a couple teams I know are out there. Gateway Christian, who is out there watching. I know Las Cruces is getting together to check out the bracket. The Roswell Coyotes, they're checked in and locked in for the postseason. Silver and Cobre both told me they were getting together, so shout out to those teams. Welcome to everyone watching to find out where they land in the brackets. But before we get to that, we always like to remind everyone how the seeding and selection process works. The seeding process is not the NMAA sitting in a room just randomly deciding who should be the 1 seed, the 2 seed, etc., etc. It is not that. What it is a process that is all data-driven. The following criteria is used to determine a team's seed. We look at finish in regular season district play, max preps rankings, overall record, wins against district champs regardless of class, member school input, that's the coach's input in their rankings, and any head-to-head matchups. These schools are compared to one another with each of these criteria points, and the seeding is determined like one big math problem. It's all based on the numbers and the data. In the event of a tie among those criteria points, head-to-head will be used to break the tie. If there is no head-to-head competition or the head-to-head competition is tied, then max prep's strength of schedule will be used to break the tie. There is no input given by NMAA staff, and let me repeat that once again like we do every year, no input by NMAA staff. It's all data-driven based on those criteria points. Did you beat a district champ? Did you have a better record? Were you ranked higher? All of those things, not just one, all of them. There is no bias for or against any school or team. Now that you understand how it's done, let's get to it. This is the show where we announce the postseason teams, right? Let's start in Class A. The top team in this classification is Logan High School. The Longhorns are having a really good year with a 19-4 record. Congratulations to the Logan Longhorns. They last won it all in 2019. Now to your top four: Logan, Gateway Christian, Camado, and Melrose. Melrose is the defending state champ. Melrose has played in every state final since 2014. Gateway Christian has reached the final in each of the last 4 state tournaments. They won it all in 2022.
I think that we have a really, really good shot of going all the way this year. I think that, like I said, we're going to have to get through some really, really hard teams. But I think if we just keep focused and we keep disciplined, then I think we have a really good shot of going all the way.
Here is the first bracket of the show. Grady is the 8 seed and Pine Hill the 9. Elida, you are the 5 seed and Hondo Valley gets the 12. Roy Mascaro is a 6 and Springer is your 11. Fort Sumner House is the 7 seed and New Mexico School for the Deaf is a 10. Hondo Valley earned the last spot in this bracket as a district champ, and they get into the field over a school such as Animas. On to Class 2A. As you know, we had some crazy weather last week, and because of the inclement weather, one volleyball match was not able to be played yet: Santa Rosa and Raton. That match could shuffle the seeding a little bit, but we do know the 12 teams that are in the field. Based on the results of the season and criteria points, here's a look at the 12 teams in the Class 2A bracket. Now, the seeding will be determined once that final match is over on Monday evening. So, Cloudcroft, Laguna Acoma, Legacy Academy, Lordsburg, McCurdy, Mesilla Valley, Cuesta, Raton, Santa Rosa, Tatum, Texaco, and Tucumcari, all of you let out one big shout because all 12 of these teams pack your bags for the state tournament. You are in. Texaco is the defending state champ, and they've won more state titles than any other program.
We've been through this. We're in the state championship game 2 years ago, and we lost to Laguna Acoma. And then we were in that state championship game again last year, and we won. So they've experienced both sides of it. And then we try to play a really, really tough schedule so that we're seeing things throughout the entire year, knowing that this team might do this, or this team has a bunch of tall girls. This team is really quick. This team plays a lot of good defense. We played 4A teams. We played 5A teams, so teams that are a couple classes above us, just knowing that that was going to help us be ready when November came. And I feel like we're right where we want to be right now.
Class 3A, the number one team, has been on a roll for the last couple seasons. St. Michael's High School. St. Michael's are in the top spot. They are the two-time defending state champs and have reached the final each of the last 3 seasons. Your top 4, well, here they are. St. Michael's, West Las Vegas, Cobre, and Cottonwood Classical.
When I took over, they hadn't gone to state in a long time, and they hadn't had a winning season. And so we're building. We're incredibly young still. But the girls are hungry. I can feel every year that mindset is changing, that they're hungry for a win, and they're starting to believe in themselves. And I think that confidence comes from their practices. We practice really hard, and they've developed all year long. So we've been focusing on that mindset, and they're hungry. And I think that's going to be, even though we're known as the little team, I think they carry that with pride. And they're hungry for that win.
Now to the brackets. Tohatchee is your 8 and Sandia Prep the 9. Robertson is in as a 5 seed. Thoreau is the 12. Ruidoso is the 6 seed, and Hot Springs is your 11. Santa Fe Indian School, you are the 7, and the Dexter Demons the 10. Little explanation here. Thoreau and Tohatchee were tied in district. Hot Springs and Cobre were tied in district. Now, because they are tied, they can be seeded either way. Tohatchee beat Thoreau in criteria points. Cobre beat Hot Springs in criteria points. However, they were district champs because of the district tiebreakers, and so they are automatically in the tournament. 2 brackets to go in this show, 4A and 5A. I guess it's only fitting we reveal 4A first, right? In Class 4A, the number one team is pretty tough. The St. Pius Sartans. St. Pius is 20-3 overall. They are the defending state champs. The Sartans also reached the final each of the last 2 years, so they have experience. Show us the top 4. St. Pius, Albuquerque Academy, Santa Teresa, and Silver. Silver hasn't reached a final since a 3-year run in 1995, 96, 97. Lydia Sierra coached those teams, and she leads this one now.
I just want them to know that I believe in them. We've worked very hard. So it's, for us to let a little easy ball hit the floor, we can't do that. They need to be hungry. They can compete. They deserve to be there. They put in the time for sure, the sacrifices. And just, I want them to go out there and have fun, go out there and have fun and be hungry.
Bracket, please. Valley is the 8 and Goddard the 9. Hope Christian is your 5 and Taos is the 12. Portales is a 6 seed and Gallup the 11. Lastly, Valencia is in as a 7 seed and Artesia is your 10. Little explaining here. Although Berlin beat Taos in criteria points, Taos is in before Berlin because they are a district champ. Taos is in the bracket in the final spot over Berlin. Last but not least, Class 5A, and the top team in this classification has some bite. The Bulldogs of Las Cruces High School. Las Cruces is the defending state champ, unbeaten, and they have one of the top players in the state in junior Addison Massey. Let's take a look at the top 4. It's Las Cruces, Cleveland, La Cueva, and Los Lunas. They all earn a first-round bye. Congratulations. Now to the bracket. Centennial is 8 and Albuquerque High the 9. Roswell is a 5 seed, and they will take on Sandia the 12. More on both those teams in just a moment. Santa Fe is the 6 and Volcano Vista is the 11 seed. Cibola is in the field as a 7 and Rio Rancho is a 10 seed. Now, Roswell comes into the postseason with a 22-1 record. Their only loss of the season is to Los Lunas in week 1. Since then, they've run off 22 straight wins. Coach says this group is a scrappy bunch.
Our tallest kid is 5'7", and she's my middle, and we're not very big when you compare us to teams like Las Cruces or La Cueva or even Cleveland. I mean, if you would stand us side by side, you would probably say right away that, you wouldn't really bet on us, but they're just competitive and they won't let a ball hit the ground, and they're going to fight until the very end.
Just to give you an inside look, Sandia and Hobbs were tied for the very last spot. Let's compare the two with criteria points. Hobbs had higher finish in district, they get a point. Sandia had a higher max preps ranking, they get a point. By the way, Sandia's Max Preps ranking was .01 better, so they got that criteria point by .01. Hobbs had a better overall record. They get another point. Wins versus district champs was a wash. Sandia had a better member school input, and there was no head-to-head. So when you compare the two with those criteria points, it's 2-2. In the event of a tie in criteria points, you go to head-to-head. But as I just mentioned, there was no head-to-head. So then you go to strength of schedule, and Sandia had the advantage, so Sandia earned the final spot over Hobbs. Don't forget, you can watch the state championship games this fall on the NFHS network. So get a subscription and log on so you can watch the championship matchups. That's going to do it for the Rudys Real Texas Barbecue State Volleyball Championship Seating and Selection Show. Good luck to all the teams involved, and remember to compete with class.